Well, hello. Welcome to the Void Space and your cosmic check-in with Razzie. That's right. I'm switching to the podcast. Let's see how this goes. We're going to do a quick check-in on the eclipse energy for October 28th, 2023. All right, let's get it because this is a interesting closing energy. We had a new moon in Libra, eclipse in Libra earlier this month, and we're rounding out this first wave of eclipse season with the Taurus full moon. Right, and it's going to be at 5 degrees of Taurus. Okay, so if you have strong fixed energies around 5 degrees, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, then you'll be feeling this extra sensitively. If you're a Libra or Aries, you'll be feeling this extra sensitively as well. And just for everyone, you're going to be feeling it, okay? Because it's a dense energy. Taurus is the strongest, the most solid of energies that we have in the zodiac. And we do need to practice our grounding, right? If we haven't already. This whole eclipse season has been, for a lot of people, an emotional wave. An emotional wave of ups and downs, a roller coaster. And this eclipse, this lunar eclipse, right, is here to ground us, to help us bring it all back in. Now, but we cannot forget that Uranus is in Taurus. Now, don't get me wrong, the eclipse itself and the full moon won't be in a very close conjunction to Uranus, but it still plays out, right? Jupiter and Uranus there still plays out. Uranus is a lightning bolt of change, and we've been experiencing this change since the beginning of the North Node Taurus transit in about 2021, right? And it rounded out this July when we officially went into the North Node Aries. So we've been through a lot when it comes to uprooting ourselves and replanting ourselves into a much more aligned place. But the thing is, this place that we're in feels extremely different. We may be surrounded by extremely different people, and even if we're around the same people that we've known our whole lives, it may just look extremely differently. The interactions may be different. And this North Node Aries, South Node Libra, especially with this eclipse in Libra, has challenged what we need to let go of in terms of relationships so we can move forward very solidly as ourselves without holding anything back, to truly figure out whether the relationships we're in are meant to last or meant to stay or are meant to go, right? We cannot compromise at this moment except when necessary. And it's a tricky place to be because Libra energy is all about making things work. But the shadow of Libra is making things work to the detriment of themselves. Believing that they truly can just change everything about them to fit into somebody else's world, and then later down the line, waking up and saying, I hate this place and I need to leave. And then feeling like it's the other person's fault when in reality, it's your fault for putting yourself into that scenario. And believing that you can make anything work. We can't make anything work right now. Taurus energy, very stubborn. It's the other Venus rule sign. Libra is one Venus rule sign. But Taurus energy, Taurus does not compromise, if you know one. They are what they are. Sometimes the shadow of Taurus is being so stubbornly who they are that they never want to change, even when necessary. So there is this comfortable place in between that we're learning. Everything that we have been working very, very hard for, which is also represented by Taurus, whether it's an internal feeling or also an external way of life, a lifestyle. We've been working really hard, and we are definitely going to see some confirmation on our growth since 2021 till now. But we also have to find that middle ground of what needs to give. No, we do not need to change ourselves for another person, but sometimes another person will spark change in us. That is necessary because they will not put down that mirror. And we constantly have to face what we're seeing on the other side. Right? Here's a James Baldwin quote for y'all that I think is really helpful around this time. The role of the artist is exactly the same as the role of the lover. If I love you, I have to make you conscious of the things you don't see. Now, the thing about this is the role of the artist and lover in this scenario, making you conscious of the things that you don't see, it isn't as conscious. The role, playing out that role, isn't as conscious as we think it is. Right? The best people in your life, naturally, when they're being themselves, which, if you're naturally an artist or naturally a lover, this is going to come natural to you because you might rub people the wrong way that you're in relationships with because you're showing them exactly who they are. You're calling them out, or, you are in your relationship and the way you're reacting, and you standing strong in your boundaries, in what you want, saying this is what I want and this is what I deserve. It just naturally shows the other person where they need to grow. And so this is really what this energy is about. Yes, in a relationship, in our best relationships, we make the other person grow. And in turn, we grow because we also are on the receiving end of this. It's about giving and receiving this. But in true Aries fashion, it's about not allowing someone else to dictate where we should be growing and how we should be growing. That's not up for debate. That's not like a conversation. We grow at the pace that we grow. It's about acceptance. It's about, hey, I see you and you're struggling. And although you're struggling and I'm here for you and I love you, I still have to honor myself. I can't allow you to do that thing you do to me that hurts. Or I can't come out of my own balance to make it better for you because that's your job at the end of the day. But I am here. And I will hold your hand and I will support you. But my support may not be exactly what you think you need or you're asking for. And that hurts when somebody does that to you, when they deny you of what you're asking for. It does hurt. It hurts because a lot of the times we're asking for something out of pain. We're asking for something from a trauma that we've dealt with. And the truth is we don't actually need it that way. We need it in almost a tough love way sometimes, or sometimes we just need the space being held. We don't need someone to figure out how to solve our issues. And that's a staple of this energy. Taurus energy is going to work hard at solving their own issues. You've been putting in the work at solving your own issues. Somewhere down the line, we get caught up in looking to someone else and saying, hey, you could be this way and my experience will be better. You could be nicer to me. You can be softer to me. And you could take on my extra work and it would be easier for me because I'm going through so much. And vice versa, right? But this energy is rerouting us to show us that only we can care for ourselves, only we can show up for ourselves, and this is what it means to show up for ourselves. And this is what it means to be in true, real relationships that matter. It's not about leaving the person that makes you conscious of the things you don't see because they're challenging you. It's about realizing that that person is really valuable because you wouldn't be able to do this work without them. That's what a real relationship is about. It's about growth. It's not about fantasy and feeling good. It's about growth. Okay, we are infatuated with this fantasy of love in this society that doesn't exist. Right? Or it does exist, but it's just actually really toxic. And we have to come back to this notion of all relationships, the really good ones, they're not always going to feel good. They're not always going to be what we want it to be. And we have to let go of what we want and what we desire in order to truly blossom like that beautiful flower that Taurus can be, right? We have to blossom from these relationships. And you're going to find that this is what your relationships are doing for you right now. And if you have no relationships in your life, is it because you're running away from that mirror? Is it because you're denying the lessons that are being brought to you? So you're actually alone because you don't want to make those moves to truly be with a conscious partner. You're just looking for needs to be met, and it doesn't work like that. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so this is a big part of this energy, and Mercury and the Sun and Mars in Scorpio, right? All of that energy is very revealing. It's a push towards the deeper feelings, the things that are submerged within your subconscious mind that need to be let out and that need to be integrated. Integration is key with this Taurus lunar full moon eclipse. And I will make a whole episode on integration, but I want to leave this message with y'all for this eclipse to prep yourselves, to get ready, to ground, to stick to yourself, to stick to what works, right, with you, and to put in that self-care. All right, thank y'all. If you enjoyed this, you can always become like an active member in my Spotify podcast listener group, whatever. I don't even know how to say it. You can donate 99 cents a month. That's what you want to do at the very least. Or you can just click that add button on my podcast so that, I can get some more engagement going with this. I would like to continue to do my cosmic check-ins here because it's just an easy way for me. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, please do so, n.razzie. And until next episode, all about integration, which will probably come out way before the eclipse. I'll talk to y'all then. Peace.